los estudiantes. I want to go over a few things for the third week in our Spanish 1 course. So the third week is actually kind of the second academic week because week 1 is just introduction. This is week 3 at a glance, what it probably looks like in your Canvas course. You see you have learning targets and success criteria. You have a list of some new vocabulary. You have some workbook pages to do. And you have an answer key to these workbook pages. You can do these workbook pages any way you want. You can print them out and write your answers in there and then go in and correct them. That would be my recommendation. But whatever works for you. Then this is a little quiz. It's a workbook reflection about things that you did. This is a place to go practice some of that vocabulary. And then this is another quiz on this Unit 1, Lesson 2, which is for week 3. Within that, you will see goals for this week. And actually, this is right here where it says learning targets and success criteria. This is what it looks like. These are the things you are to do this week. This is what I expect you to learn. This is how you will show me that you learned it. And these are some of the concepts and the grammar. So I expect you to start learning some vocabulary about everyday items, and I expect you to know the difference between third person singular and third person plural verbs. So you might be saying to yourself, third person, what is this? I don't know what that grammatical stuff means. Well, I'm going to go over it right now. Okay, so hopefully you will understand that. Okay, so the first thing about understanding a little bit of some grammar is you need to know your pronouns. Pronouns are words that take the place of the name of a person. So yo means I. Tú means you. Él is he. Ella is she. Usted is a formal you. Nosotros or nosotras both mean we. This is all masculine. If everybody in the group of we is masculine, then you use nosotros. If there's even one girl in that group, no. Other way around. Nosotras has to be all women. But you use nosotros if it's all boys, all men, or a mix of men and women. A mix of boys and girls. If there's one boy, it becomes nosotros. It's kind of a masculine dominant. Ustedes means you plural, like you people, you guys. Ellos means they. Ellas means they. Ellos is masculine, so if you're talking about boys, they, you use ellos. If you're talking about girls, they, you use ellas. Again, if it's a mix of boys and girls, you're going to use the masculine form. Okay, so I talked about third person, right? So I put these kind of in this setup for a reason. These are first person, this is second person, and this is third person. These are all singular, and these are all plural. So yo, I, is first person singular. What it means is just one person talking about one person. This is second person because it's me talking about you. There's two people. This is third person because maybe I'm talking to you, but I'm talking about another person, her. Did you see her dress? You and I are talking about a third person. So over here, first person, nosotros, we, that's just us. There's nobody else involved. Ustedes, you guys. That's me talking to other people, you guys, that are plural. And this is ellos, it's third person, they, because it's me talking to you about them. What did they do? So we have a third section involved there, me to you about them. So hopefully that makes some sense to you. When I talk about third person singular, It's either él or ella, and third person plural is ellos or ellas. The reason I didn't say usted is because usted takes on the same conjugation as él or ella, but it means you. It's just a formal way of using the word you, and you'll get more about that later. Okay, the other thing you need to know in this week is you have to understand that the masculine and feminine and singular and plural is always indicated in Spanish. So we have some words like or some in English that are called indefinite articles. We also use un, like an egg, if the letters, if the noun starts with the vowel. Okay, but it's the same thing, or un or some. The some is the plural and is singular. So if it's masculine singular, you'll use un. Masculine plural would be unos. Feminine singular will be una. Feminine plural will be unas. So you go through these and you think, well, this is an egg, un huevo. So then you have to decide, is pez masculine or feminine? Is it plural or singular? So pez means fish, and you might not know if it's masculine or feminine. You might have to look and see. When I saw that, did they say un pez or did they say una pez? So you might have to look back. You can't always tell, and you have to memorize it. So this is un pez. This is un sandwich, un gato, un pez. This is ends in s, plural, and it's os. Usually words that end with o are masculine. So this is os. So I'm going to say unos periódicos. This is bicicleta. Usually words, and I didn't say usually because it's not an absolute rule, but usually words that end in a are feminine nouns. So this is una bicicleta. Then you have manzanas, plural, apples, plural. So I want to say some apples. You have to consider, is this feminine? Is it feminine plural? Unas manzanas? Okay, so that's how you do that. So keep those in mind. Those are really important for you to know. Also, you see that there are some accents here. You do need to use those accents in your writing. If you're not sure how to do that, you go to the everyday resources, and there is a document in there about accents. Sometimes I can't use those codes and I have to just copy and paste them. So I just go in and find the document and open it up and copy and paste what I need. Okay? Here we go. Third person singular versus third person plural. This is either the third person singular is like he or she. Third person plural is they. So if I could replace this word los adultos with they, so the adults, they, I could replace it with they, right? So it's third person plural. Caminan. La mujer, what could I replace that with? He or she? I could say she instead. So she is third person singular, and third person singular does not end with the end. It is camina. So you notice that these are the singular and these are the plural. These are the singular and these are the plural. I'll go down to here, the bottom two. El adulto, the adult, would be like he, right? So that's singular. If I have el niño y el adulto, the boy and the adult, that's two people. So I'm into plural, third person plural, they. I can replace that with the word they. So it would be tienen. Okay. This is just a real short look at all this stuff here. Okay, so you also need to look at answering yes or no questions. I want you to notice that these are all the answers here. And I'm going to put my mug up here a little bit. Notice that when I say no to an answer, the word no comes up twice. No. Ella no lee un periódico. When I say yes to an answer, sí, I only say the answer yes once. Sí, ellos duermen. Okay? The same is true in English, actually. If I say, is she reading a newspaper? And the answer is no. Say no, she isn't reading a newspaper. Is not, the no and the not are like no, no. But if I say yes, she is reading a newspaper, then you only say yes once. So you do say no, no and not in English. In Spanish it's no and no. You say no twice. So just kind of notice those kinds of details. The other thing I want you to notice is the inflection to indicate a question. So the question here is talking about ellos duermen, if they are sleeping or not. The answer is sí, ellos duermen, yes, they're sleeping. So the question must be, are they sleeping? So in English, we go from they are sleeping, and the question is, are they sleeping? We switch the are and the they around, right? But in Spanish, if I were to write this here as a question, it would be ellos duermen as the question. But I have to say it differently. I have to say, ellos duermen becomes a question. Ellos duermen is the answer. If I want to ask, is this an apple? ¿Es una manzana? Do you notice the inflection, the accent in my voice? Versus, I'm telling you this is an apple, I would say, es una manzana. If I want to ask you, are the horses running? Los caballos corren. Los caballos corren, or corren los caballos? Los caballos corren versus los caballos corren is this statement. If I want to ask you, is she sleeping? I'd say, ella duerme. If I want to tell you if she is sleeping, I'd say, ella duerme. In this case, the answer was no. Ella no duerme. So notice that inflection to show a question, because it can be written the same way, but it's said differently. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Rosetta Stone. The lessons are set up for you to do a lesson, and then to go in and do, so a lesson in Rosetta Stone, and then go do some workbook pages, and then go do some quizzes or some reflections on that work. So at this point, I think this is lesson 2. So you should be, this is all of lesson 1. This person has all of lesson 1 done. I can tell because there are green check marks all along the way. This person also has all of lesson 2 done because there are green check marks all along the way. They also are a little bit ahead for this week in Rosetta Stone because they have completed also lesson 3 in Rosetta Stone. So this person has done parts of lesson 1 and parts of lesson 2, but they are not completed because they don't all have green check marks on them. You need to make sure that there's green check marks on all of them. So when you go back, like if I go back into this core lesson on this one that has a red X on it, this is what I will see at the bottom of the Rosetta Stone page. All of these circles that have check marks on them, that means that particular page, this student got everything right. These ones with the numbers showing like this, that means they're missing part of it. So you don't have to go back and redo the entire thing. You can if you want to review the entire thing. You can just go to those pages where you missed something and look at that again, take a little closer look at what the details are and what you missed. This looks like this person they somehow skipped page 11 altogether. Okay? So make sure you go in there and get all those green check marks across there before you go farther, because Rosetta Stone is where you're going to get your basic lessons done. Okay, so how do you contact me? You need help, you've done all these things, you've gone through the information, you've gone through the everyday resources, and you still have a question. So Canvas email is the quickest way. Just send me an email in Canvas. You can also send me a district email, and you can call or text me on this phone number. Okay. So I'm here for you. Just get a hold of me, and we will talk later.